Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more March of the Machine action. Today we're playing a super fun and kind of jank deck that I call Blinkasaurus because we're using Etali Primal Conqueror, blinking it a bunch, and hopefully playing a bunch of cards from our library as well as our opponent's library. So we're gonna probably end up winning to our opponent conceding or our opponent dying to their own things, which is kind of fun. It is kind of jank, but let's go ahead and go through what the combo I'm talking about is. So we have Etali Primal Conqueror, a 7 mana, 7/7 Elder Dinosaur with Trample. When it enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So we kind of just cascade from the top of our library and our opponent's library and get to cast the spells for free. So this is how we end up casting free spells from our opponent's library. And then in our library, we have a bunch of spells that will blink Etali. So we have like Scrollshift, which is a new card, exile up to one target artifact or creature, or enchantment you control, return it to the battlefield under your control or its owner's control. So this is how we blink Etali. We get that ETB again. We also have Guardian Ghirapur, but anyways, we get the ETB again, and then we get to repeat this process, and hopefully we keep on hitting spells that will go ahead and blink Etali, and we'll keep casting things from our opponent's library. So that's the combo. Let's see if we can like pull it off. Knock on wood, hopefully we'll be able to get this off in ranked. We might switch to standard play if it if it gets a little too difficult, but if you have any questions about the deck, feel free to check out the Aether Hub link in the description so you can see the full deck list. You can also ask me in the comments or join the Discord in the description and talk to other Magic players as well as ask me about it. And if you enjoy these types of videos, consider subscribing because we try and make interesting, unique decks. I can't speak. Interesting, unique decks daily. All right. This I forgot to mention. Yes, we're kind of planning to cast Etali, but also kind of planning just to reanimate Etali. So that's kind of the goal here because it's a little bit easier to reanimate than to cast a 7 mana creature. Especially since a lot of the blink things are in blue and white, and that sets us up real well for reanimating. So, opponent. Play down the tap land first. I tried to record this video once already, but I accidentally went into play queue, and then I played an event against an opponent who was moving rather slowly and then conceded right as we were about to get it off. So I was like, you know what, we'll just start fresh. Alright, we'll go ahead. I probably should have Faithful Mending while they only have one land. Just they don't end up counterspelling it. Because Azorius means they might be playing counterspells, and I'm going to be very sad if they do counterspell this. They don't. Interesting. We'll put double Etali in Graveyard, or we could put Etali in Faithful Mending. Yeah, we'll put Etali in Faithful Mending. And then we can play out a Scrapwork Mutt. Playing on a creature here, I don't know what our opponent's playing. I'm a little concerned that they're playing Control. And Control is not going to be a very good thing to storm off with their cards. But we'll find out. We have Azorius Surprise. So it's Azorius Flash creatures? I don't know. There's a Moonfolk Ninja. Okay, we got the reanimation spell, so we can just kind of go through our, I mean, we could blink this Scrapwork Mutt. Man, I really want to keep one of these Scroll Shifts in my hand. I will go ahead and just, no attacks, and wait until they cast something, and then we'll cast Faithful Mending in return. Alright, we find a land. We don't have enough white sources, so we'll go ahead and discard the Scroll Shift and... Ooh, do we get rid of the Etali? I mean, yeah, that's probably fine. We can get rid of the Etali. Hopefully we go ahead and find ourselves a white source off the top, an untapped white source off the top, and then we can Invoke Justice. I do not understand what our opponent is playing, but it is cool. I will give them that. Is it like Boggles? standard boggles with just hexproof creatures that you're gonna pump up a bunch. I think we'll go ahead and play out Guardian of Ghirapur just because it's a flyer, and then we can go ahead and do this. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to one target creature or artifact you control, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of next end step. So our Scrapper returns, we get to discard a card. We'll go ahead and get rid of Planar Incision, or maybe we get rid of Scrollshift here. I kind of want to get rid of Planar Incision. Man, I should have gotten rid of Scrollshift, because then we could have Planar Incision the Scrapper Commut. Oh, it's not untapped. That is so sad. Alright, we'll go ahead and... what do we want to do? I mean, we could just play out the Scrapper Commut as a kind of a blocker here. If we go ahead and attack in, they probably just flash in another Saiba Cryptomancer. I don't know why they would have a third one in hand. That would be pretty crazy, but it is a possibility. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play out Scrapper Commut, and we'll just leave it at that. We don't need to draw this card. We're just gonna keep it on the battlefield as another way of topping up the board. And then I think we'll go ahead, no attacks. I mean, I could attack in here, but I'm kind of worried that they're gonna just flash in something to protect their, or like play something instant speed to protect their Saiba Cryptomancer. It's a very interesting deck that our opponent's playing. Surprised to see something so new in ranked. They're gonna go ahead, send their soldier to the air. Their soldier angel now. Going to go ahead and attack in on that. I think we'll go ahead and block then. We don't have really that much to lose here. And there we go. Our opponent... Ooh, that's really cool. So these are hexproof and they get counters, so they get to proliferate all these counters, which is pretty nice. That is fine with us though, because this means that they're completely tapped out for us to go ahead and try and storm off here. Let's see what we get. Let's see what I get. Well, let's see what we get in English. We'll spread out the counters here. Free spell. Yes, this is good. Play out this, play out this. The Guardian of Ghirapur comes down. Blink the Etali. You know what that means? Etali's going to come back at the end of our turn. We can go ahead and try and search our library for planes. Play out of planes, maybe. And then, guess we can go ahead and attack. No, we can't attack it. Actually, we can attack in. These will trade with the Saiba Cryptomancer. Nope, they let Elspeth go, which is kind of good for us. And then, here he comes. Free spell off the top. It is Faithful Mending. Alright, so we'll cast out the Faithful Mending and the farmhand. Probably should have kept that land in hand. We'll search out a land. Doesn't make too much of a difference. And then we have to discard 2 cards. We'll get rid of the Seachrome Coast and the Battlefield Forge, I think. And that is as far as we go for this turn. Next turn we get to double blink the Etali, or we can potentially flip it. No, we only have 8 mana next turn. Hopefully our opponent does not go for Etali here. We got 2 farmhands out of their library, which is probably some of their weakest creatures, which is kind of sad, but they probably have a proliferate spell here, so we're going to go ahead and block just so that they don't get this, which is another flyer, which could be potentially annoying. Faithful Absence. Alright, so we need to find a reanimation spell. Thankfully, though, they give us this, so we can go ahead and draw. That is not another reanimation spell, but we do have some draw discard here, so we can dig. That is not a reanimation spell. We'll go ahead and discard Scrollshift, a Scrollshift, and a Plains. And then I think we'll go ahead and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and big score here. Get rid of the Rafine's Inform. I mean, we don't need the land for this turn. At this point, we kind of just need. There we go. And then next turn we can go ahead and reanimate. They get this angel here, but we'll be able to try and continue to combo off. The nice thing is, or it's kind of funny, what happens is Etali ends up exiling a lot of like libraries. Well, maybe not. We hit nonland cards off the top. Each player exiles cards. Yeah, it doesn't say to return it to the... You're kidding me. Perfect. Opponent is striking out here. Farewell off the top means they get to get rid of our graveyard. Kind of lucky, but yeah, if you want to flip it, you're gonna have to attack with a... I think we had 2 Etalis in our graveyard. No, we had 3. Yeah, there's like almost no way we combo off from here. Let's go ahead and troll this card and see what we find. Invoke Justice. We don't really need an Invoke Justice here. So we'll go ahead and discard it. Play this. We already played a land for this turn. I don't think we have. We'll discard the land regardless though, because we're going to try and draw with this Spirit Companion. C double. That means that we can copy their best creature, which is nice. No attacks. C double is an interesting card from March the Machine. It's probably the best clone that it has been made to some degree because it's 4 mana. The spell can't be copied. Choose one. If opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, you may choose both. Copy target spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So you can even copy. When it says spell, it means like absolutely anything. I'm gonna go ahead and blink the Spirit Companion here real quick to draw a card, or draw 2 cards. Land, not quite what we wanted. That is something. We can do this and still hold up the C double. We'll go ahead and discard the Sundown Pass, I think. But what was I gonna say? You can create a token of top, that's a copy of target creature. So we can copy our opponent's creatures, or we can copy spells. So it makes it really a flexible card. We're gonna go ahead, no attacks. I'm hoping they'll play out something a little bit more useful. Or cast something a little more useful, and then we can copy it with the C double. We probably don't want to attack with that one. No way of blocking this at the moment, so we're gonna go ahead and take quite a bit. Opponent goes up. They play nothing, which is strange. Go ahead, cast out a Rafine's Informant, draw this card. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we don't really need the island, I can say. Say pretty confidently we don't need the island. Let's go ahead. Hold on, if we spend 4 mana on this, how much mana do we have left open? Yeah, we gotta draw this card. Unfortunately. Because we won't have enough to cast the Etali if we find the Etali off of just like a draw. We tweet a clone of this. Oh no, it's not enough. Our opponent just had the farewell and that was it. Ooh, Guardian of Ghirapur is cool. Oh, we'll play out a Guardian of Ghirapur just for the sake of it. See what we draw into. If we draw into the Etali, I'll be kind of sad, but how deep did we go into our library? We went pretty deep. We have 16 cards left. That last Etali is in those last 16 cards. Unfortunate. Well, the opponent had farewell. That's kind of kind of how that game went. The best sweeper in the game. Bit unfortunate. We would have been able to invoke Justice like any number of Etalis back there if our opponent didn't have farewell because they were able to exile the graveyard, which was really bad for us. We were so close. We only got like 2 spells. Alright. Opponent. Game is loading. There we go. Or I guess they're picking their mulligans, rather. Oh my goodness. I saw 2 mulligans already. So are they going down to... Okay. I guess they can afford to mulligan a bit more since they're on the draw, not on the play. They get to see another card. That's not a color I want to see, or color pairing I want to see. That means they might be playing Selesnya Toxic, which is a little rough for this hand because we don't have any early chumpy creatures. That's fine. Go ahead, cast Faithful Mending. Discard the island and the island. Really don't need this many strictly blue sources. Play out that, and then we can cast the Faithful Mending from our graveyard. Selesnya counters. I wonder what they're playing. I plan to make a Selesnya counters deck. I haven't quite gotten to making it because I don't have a ton of rare wild cards at the moment here. Because you need some wild cards for your Dust Legion Duelist. Oh yeah, I forgot that's backup, so they get to choose where they put the counters. So they get to draw a card here. Go ahead, cast this. Don't need another duel. We have enough red sources here. I think I'll just discard these 2. We have 5 lands in our hand at the moment. Play down a Sundown Pass. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and big score on their turn to hopefully find something. Big score away a Battlefield Forge, I think. Or we could big score away the Faithful Mending. Dusk Legion Duelist. Bond Warding, so they get to put a +1 counter on one of their Dusk Legion Duelists. They get another counter on their Botanical Brawler. They draw a card. They kind of got the engine going. It's not quite the mana to keep up with it all. 7 damage. That is allowed. I discard the land. Oh my goodness. We're just finding all our draw discard spells, are we? I'm gonna go ahead and cast this Faithful Mending off this. Okay. There's Etali. I think at this point we just kind of ramp into it. Discard a Battlefield Forge maybe and Raffine. So, no! We hit the Invoke Justice off the top. That's gross. That is gross. Alright, well. Are we gonna die next turn? 6 + 4. Let's just hope they don't have something that puts counters on absolutely everything, and we'll be okay. If they do have something that puts counters on everything, we could Invoke Justice back, like this Raffine's Informant, if we really need to. We're gonna gain 2 life to this Faithful Mending, though. Okay. Alive at the moment. Load Contaminator, that's pretty cool, but we'll go ahead and draw this card here, get rid of Etali, and what do we want to get rid of? Big score can allow us to draw more, so I think we'll go ahead and keep it. I think we'll get rid of the C double in this particular case. Play this land out for the turn. And then, alright, here goes nothing. Etali or bust. Etali or bust. Free card. Oh, we got a Scrollshift off the top. That's good. Ozolith coming in. Scrollshift. Target creature. Blink the Etali. Etali, you get to draw a card, exile. Botanical Brawler. Okay, that's something. Faithful Mending. That's something, I guess. We get to gain a little bit of life. Ooh. We get to repeat this next turn. Opponent is looking at our graveyard. I don't know what they're looking at, or how they're holding up control here, because I don't think they have any mana. No activated ability or activatable abilities, or I don't know how to English. All right. We'll get rid of land. Get rid of uh, Guardian of Ghirapur, I think. We have Scrollshift, which is basically the same thing. Alright, we get Ozolith now. Ozolith plus Botanical Brawler. That's what I meant to say. We'll probably block the Bloated Contaminator just so they don't go hog wild. Block it with a Etali. We stole our opponent's Ozolith so far, and a Botanical Brawler. Opponent. I don't think they have lethal, because we can block. Yeah, we're only going to be taking 7 damage at the moment. Doomscar Warrior, that's actually quite a bit more damage. Well, not that much more. We can block the Blood Container straight out. Yeah, you're probably best putting on like a Bond Warden, honestly, but at the same time, I don't know. They got 10 damage between Botanical Brawler and Dust Legion Duelists, and then 4 damage here. So we just block a Duelist and then Bloated Contaminator so they don't get a proliferate. And we'll be fine. Doomscar Warrior, though, is a super cool card. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at that many cards from the top of your library. You may reveal a creature or land from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So 4 mana for basically a 5/4 or something, or a 4/3 that can allow you to draw immediately, or sort of immediately. They put it on the Bloated Contaminator, so it procs the Botanical Brawler. They don't go in with the Botanical Brawler? Okay, I was about to say. Opponent does not have any pump spells, so we can just go ahead and block. We're going to have to combo off this turn, though. I'm very excited, though, to see if we can actually win. Alright, Invoke Justice is not bad. I think we're going to go ahead and start with a Scrollshift. We'll keep this Storm card Coast in our hands, just in case. We get to Boonbringer. No way, that's so good. ETB. I mean, we could just blink the Ozolith, but we could also blink this. I think we blink the Etali and just hope. This, we'll go ahead and just put the backup on that. So we got a 6/3 lifelinker. And then we'll play down another land here just in case we top deck. I guess we'd play this and see if we... No, we'll keep it like this, I think. And we have a chance to... Still have some sort of chance here when this comes back. We get an Etali off the top. A Tribute to the World Tree is super cool. Go ahead, keep this one. It doesn't really matter too much. We get another free spell. We get another Boonbringer Valkyrie, yes! An Etali. We get another free Etali trigger. Cast more spells. Dust Legion Duelist, not bad. Guardian of Ghirapur. I don't know how this works. If we have Guardian of Ghirapur and blink something at the very end of the turn, what if I blink a Boonbringer Valkyrie? You know, we'll blink a Guardian. Actually, let's blink the Ozolith, just in case. I'm a little worried here that we're gonna screw something up. I think though this is a pretty good turn. We can big score away a Sproutwork Mutt, see if we hit something useful, like a 2 mana exile. Nope. So we didn't hit a 2 mana blink, but we got pretty good board there. That's pretty good. We got 2 Boonbringer Valkyries from our opponent's board, a Dust Legion Duelist as well, and then we got our Guardians of Ghirapur. We do have a blink spell in hand. We also have a way to reanimate Etali if Etali ends up dying. So I'm wondering if our opponent's playing like Invasion of Moag or whatever. Nope, our opponent concedes. We did it. We won with the dragon combo. These Boonbringer Valkyries, though, are... man, I don't have enough rares to craft them for myself, but I love the art on them, and they're honestly pretty good, if you ask me. 5 mana, 5/5 flying first strike, lifelink, or something that can give that kind of stat, or those keywords, you know, that creature the turn it comes in is quite nice, if you ask me. So I'm very excited to try and play with that card. Oh man, that's so exciting. I was afraid that like this deck was too jank. I've had a ton of fun every time I've played it though, because you're always like, when you play decks like this, these kind of combo decks, there's always that chance that you just win out of nowhere, which is quite rewarding if you get it off. This is a very interesting hand. We'll have to like go diving through our deck for our stuff. Our lands are less than desirable. Maybe we need to cut like an island or two to get a few more of these white sources in here because this is not what we want. Um, we're gonna play a Rafine's Informant. This allows us to draw and then discard, which is kind of nice. If we need to, we can discard the Scrapwork Mutt as well, because we can unearth it. Opponent's just gonna make a Shieldred Edict it. We'll discard the Stormcarved Coast because we still have 2 lands in hand if we discard it. We do need 5 mana to reanimate, or we need to get up to 7 mana to cast it. Opponent's playing Grixis though, so they're playing about as meta of a deck that it gets. Kind of got lucky that we were playing against a opponent playing something new and fun. We'll go ahead and cast another Rafine's Informant here, I think. You can probably just get rid of the Stormcarved Coast because we need 4 white sources, so we can have 1 non-white source if we're going to cast Invoke Despair. The red, I don't think we'll miss too much because we might hit another red source off like Scrapwork Mutt here. But the fact that our opponent is removing everything makes these Guardian of Ghirapurs less good. Okay, Invoke Justice, that's good. We can play out the Scrapwork Mutt, discard... we'll discard the Scrollshift. Maybe not. It says artifact, creature, or enchantment you control. We'll discard the Scrollshift right now. Okay. We have this. We need our Scrapwork Mutt to live, sort of. If it doesn't live, we need to be able to unearth it, so hopefully they don't exile it. Does the opponent come in with their Blood Tithe Harvester? Awesome. They don't do anything here, so that means we get to do this, which is probably out as efficient of a play as we could get. Play out Guardian of Ghirapur, blink our Mutt. What does Unearth say? Exile at the beginning of next end step. Oh, or if it would leave the battlefield. But if you blink a reanimated or a unearthed Scrapwork Mutt, does it return to the battlefield is my question. We're gonna get rid of this land because we draw into another land anyways. Alright, we really need to top deck something useful here. We're digging through our deck for these, uh-oh. Okay, they don't have green in their deck, so they can't fight spell. I have to say, the new Phyrexian Obliterator art has grown on me. I remember initially seeing it, and I was like, oh, the old Phyrexian Obliterator was... The old art was cooler, but I honestly think it's actually quite nice. I guess we can find out what happens if you blink a Scrapwork Mutt that you unearth. Maybe we won't do that. We'll just play out Rafine's Informant. And then hope our opponent isn't playing Corpse Appraiser and has it in hand and has been holding it this entire time. Go ahead, discard this. And then we'll play out a Guardian of Ghirapur. Pow. Opponent does have 1 red mana open. So I am wondering if they have a removal spell. We'll go ahead and blink this again, so we can draw this card. Go ahead, attack in. They can't stop us. Wandering Mind doesn't have enough toughness. Draw this card. Planar Incision. That is not going to do it. But maybe we create... no, let's not keep the Planar Incision. We can Invoke Justice as Scrapwork Mutt back if we want. Blood Tithe Harvester. 9 cards in our graveyard. We're 20 cards deep. Still haven't found a single dino. I guess that's one card we could be playing in this deck, but more a fan of the cards that we have at the moment. Opponent can crew the Bankbuster with their Blood type Harvester, swing with it and the Obliterator and the Wandering Mind. That means we're going to take a boatload of damage here. Do we block with our Fiend's Informant? Sure. I think this buys us another turn potentially, so seems worth. Ooh, that is not what I was thinking of. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to blink the discard the Scrapwork Mutt, hit and invoke Justice off of it. Okay, I think we're just dead. I think we are dead. We don't need this many Invoke Justices. Well, I guess we'll play the land, so if we top deck into the Dino, we can cast it. Of course we swing in with these, they're going to get sacked at the end of the turn anyways, because unearth, or exiled rather. Actually, does it say sacrifice or just straight up exile? Exile. Okay, so it doesn't sacrifice and then go into exile. Because there is like, it's strange how all the different cards end up being phrased. Do we just die? No, we do not just die. But if we block this 2/2 Goblin, we're taking 8 + 2? Yes, so we do need to block this. Wait, no, we do just die. I can't count. Whoops. But we'll block where we can and cry while we can. Ouch. So close. Down to 0. If we had one more health point, we swung in with that Angel earlier and we should have just been holding back. We are kind of reliant on our combo. Or at least hitting a dinosaur. Hitting good old Etali. Etali has to be one of my... Well, I did make videos about like my favorite mythics, rares, and commons and uncommons, and Etali was up there as one of my favorite rares. Okay. We can maybe work with this hand. I mean, do we want to... We go first. So if we go first, we don't really want to mulligan, because then we're going to be down a card in hand. And since so much of our stuff is draw this card, kind of just ends up meaning that we draw discard something that we don't want to discard. Get rid of Scrollshift. Guardian of Ghirapur, blink the Rafine. Assuming Rafine lives, they do probably have cut down or go for the throat. A little bit worried about that. Ooh, Faithful Mending, that'll do. On turn. Faithful Mending on their turn. Wait until after they play, just so that they don't exile it with a Graveyard Trespasser, if we discard something important. Yep. Oh, Graveyard Trespasser, I can't wait until you rotate. Don't need another red. Actually, we can discard this, and I guess we can discard both of them, really. Play Deserted Beach, and then we're gonna wait till our opponent's turn. They might go for the Faithful. Oh crap! Forgot that if you don't play anything, it switches to night, because that card needed more sauce. Alright, they're gonna get rid of Scrollshift and the Faithful Mending. I think we'll just let it go. Let it go. Pass. Do you have another Graveyard Glutton? No, you have a Misery Shadow. That's kind of annoying as well. That means whenever one of our creatures die, it would go to exile instead. So, not ideal. We're getting big score off this Scrollshift, so if we top deck into Etali, we can play the land and then cast it, because we'll get 2 treasure tokens. Oops, wrong one. Cast. Little life never hurt nobody. Draw 2. Do you have a counterspell opponent? I don't think you do. Hello. Alright, there we go. We did not draw into it. We have one more draw. And we didn't draw into it. Okay. We can play Rafine's Informant. Draw, discard. If our opponent has cut down, they can just cut down Raffine's Informant here. Get rid of the Scrollshift. Though admittedly, Scrollshift would draw us another card, which would probably be worth it, but... Alright, and then we blink Raffine's Informant to draw another one. We're gonna be 20 cards deep. If we're gonna go 20 cards deep and not see another Etali, I'm gonna be sad. I'm going to be sad. I get that, definitely not guaranteed that it's gonna be in the top, like, 20 cards, but, it is kind of frustrating. I have to go. We double cast it as well, so that flips, which is actually pretty good, because that means they can't drain us for as much. Misery Shadow will be able to pound us if we don't block it. Never mind. They can only pump it once. This is good. If they don't have a cut down, we can actually block. I think we block? I mean, they pump it up and everything, but we get rid of their Misery Shadow, which is potentially annoying. C double, that's something. Guess we'll play this, draw a card. Big score is cool, but I don't think it's cool enough. Go ahead, cast this, blink the Spirit Companion. Draw another card. We're 20 cards deep. Okay. We are officially 1/3 of the library, 0 dinos. I think that's the second game. Infernal Grasp on the flyer. Fine. Fine. We can't big score and then cast Etali, so I think... Aw, man. We just kind of need to top deck it at this point. Okay. Finally! They don't have enough mana to kill it as well, so we get to do some things. At least do, like, one thing. Free spell off the top is nice. Invoke Despair. Screw you, opponent. Gain a little life. We don't probably need these lands. Yeah, we'll go with 0 lands. We'll be drawing cards from this anyways, you know? Yeah, Invoke Justice, easy. It's fine, everything's fine. They kill the Etali, we reanimate it. It's fine. Hopefully they don't have exile removal. That's not exile removal. They already played a land for the turn, so they can't exile it from the graveyard with its Cemetery Trespasser. Tenacious Underdog, that's not gonna do it. Invoke Justice, let's go! That is another Etali. And it's bigger this time. Oh my goodness, we got a Scrapwork Mutt. That's so disappointing. It's fine. Fine. Everything's fine. Draw or discard a card. We'll go ahead and discard a Faithful Mending, I think. Yeah. We'll get rid of the Scrapwork Mutt. Kind of want to be able to cast the Faithful Mending if we want. We got a land, play the land, and end turn. Alright, do you have another removal for Etali? Because otherwise, we're planning on keeping this combo going, opponent. Admittedly, we probably want to attack in with it first. Pass the blockers. I don't know if I want to attack in with Misery Shadow. Or, ooh, that's a blink spell, but it's not quite what I was thinking. How much does this cost to flip? 9. We are nowhere close. Good to know. Alright, we can big score away Faithful Mending, try and get into another combo piece. Well, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We only found lands. We could go ahead and attack in with Etali, and then we'll blink it. We can blink it, or we can C-double it. Doesn't matter too much. And then... oh yeah, that gets exiled because we have their Misery Shadow. Get wrecked, opponent. How does it feel? We get to blink the Etali. It comes back at our end step, end turn. And we get more free spells. Get out of here, opponent. Get out. Leave. Our opponent thankfully got land screwed for like 5 turns straight while we went like 25 cards deep into our library to find a dinosaur. Alright, hopefully we'll get a lucky hand here. We'll play 2 more games. 2 more games and see if we can combo off a little bit speedier or if we're just going to get absolutely dunked on. We go first. We have the cards in hand. This is a pretty good hand. We have Faithful Mending that we can cast. We have Etali. We have we just need to find lands, and our opponent not to kill us in 5 turns. Is that possible? Find out. We will find out. Alright. Shop. You know what? I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name. I was about to, but I'm afraid of just utterly butchering it. So we're gonna go ahead, no, and turn. I guess we get to cast it on our turn, because now they might just have a counterspell. It's fine. Even if they counter it, we can cast Faithful Mending from our graveyard. Etali can go to the grave, and then Invoke Justice can go to the grave, I think. That gives away our plan so much. But I think it's worth it because we kind of got 2 lands in hand. There's no reason to do anything else. End turn. Alright, we can Faithful Mending if we want, but I'm a little worried of sending more things to our graveyard. Wedding Announcement, that's fine. We'll just do this. I'm gonna wait to their end step, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Cast away the Faithful Mending, a Seachrome Coast, the tap land at this point. That's fine. Wanderer, that is not quite what I wanted in my hand, but we'll deal with it. Alright. Next turn we Etali. We've been playing against, I was afraid we haven't played a single match against Mono Red, which has been a saving grace. Alright, we're not gonna bother with the Faithful Mending here. We're just gonna go ahead and do this. Opponent has 2 mana up, so they might counterspell this, but we have another Invoke Justice in hand. Yep, that's what I thought. They smelt it. We dealt it. Alright. Wedding Announcement or Espers. It's all the blue mana. I was afraid, but clearly not afraid enough. Alright. Do you have another? If you don't have another, we get to do things. You do? No, you don't. Ah, free spell. What is the free spell? Do you have a removal? Alright, that's fine. Liliana, that's cool. Scrapwork Mutt, not bad. Discard the Scrapwork Mutt. Planar Incision, not too bad.
No more distractions.
Target player sacrifices a creature. That would be you, opponent. Thank you.
Sacrifices must be made.
You disgusting Liliana player. Removal, counter spells. Ugh. No. I get it. That's some people's jam. Certainly not mine, but I will go ahead and get rid of this.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Draw. Guardian of Ghirapur. Fine. We can play Eternal Wander here and make them sack the Shieldred. It's not ideal. I mean, you could just blink the Shieldred. Yeah, let's blink the Shieldred until we can get a creature down. It doesn't really help us. We're going to still get drained on our turn. But they can't attack in with it, which is sort of a win. Kaito.
You'll never see me coming.
Please create a creature with your Kaito. It would make me quite happy. And then I can just sacrifice all your other stuffs. Because Evolve Sleeper is not another thing that we want them to be keeping around. They can just draw cards with it. It's quite a good card against control types as well. Which we are trying to control our opponent with this Eternal Wanderer. Oh, they hit it for enough damage so we don't actually get to so we don't actually get to do what I wanted. That's unfortunate. We could. Maybe we should have just created a dork there. We literally didn't get anything out of that, did we? Yeah, maybe that was a misplay. Huh. So if we go in with a Scrapwork Mutt, trying to figure out how we can fight our way out of this. A Shieldred is about as bad as it gets, though. Get rid of the Planar Incision, I think. Another land is good, so if we top deck a... Alright, I'm curious how this works. We're gonna go ahead and blink the Scrapwork Mud. I don't know if this works the way I want it, but usually exile effects end up cleansing any sort of, like, penalties. So we'll find out. If our creature comes back here at the end, we'll know that it works. We get it back. Oh, I should have ordered these differently. Oh, it's just an ETB? No, the unearth. Yeah. Order the unearth effect first. Oops. Alright, well, I think we lose it. Or no. No, okay, it does cleanse it. Alright. Good to know. It worked. Oh, it was getting +1/+1 from the wedding announcement. I didn't even notice. Shieldred is 6 toughness. There's a wedding announcement. I mean, they have a removal spell most like guaranteedly for one of our creatures. So even if we triple block the Shieldred, it's not gonna die. That's obnoxious. I mean, we could block with everything here, and then it doesn't matter though, because it is 6 toughness. They get rid of the double striking 2/2. I mean, we can force them to have it, but then we lose both of these creatures if we do. Oh, we can just do this. And then they get rid of the double striking 2/2, which they're going to do anyways. Opponent, your Shieldred is dead. Okay. Was that the plan?
Now this is
You have
a
another?
juicy secret.
You have to have another at this point. Some of these blink effects that like happen at the end step are kind of complicated, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, well now we can draw and discard through our deck a little bit more freely. Discard the Seachrome Coast, it's a tap land. Big score is not bad. I guess we'll go ahead and big score away the Scrollshift, I think. Draw 2, create 2 treasures. Sea double, okay, that works real well. And then we'll go ahead and blink the Scrapwork Mutt so it comes back as a real creature.
I'll handle this
No attacks. They're Kaido, they can try an ultimate if they want it. It doesn't matter how we order this, we learned this last turn. It does work like we hoped. Nope, we do not need to draw a discard here. Opponent puts another counter on there of Old Sleeper. It's funny how they're like refusing to play any other creatures, so we can't -4 with our Emperor like we might want to. We have C double, so if they play something relevant, we can count or copy it. If they play any sort of spell, we can copy it, or if they play a creature that we want, we can also just copy it once it's on the battlefield. If they attack in, we just double block. It's fine. That's the blockers. Actually, we'll single block. They're gonna pump it up anyways. I mean, we could force them to pump it up by double blocking, but then our creatures are just gonna die. I mean, we could also have, like, in response to them attacking, C doubled, and I think we would have been able to,
Now,
do what we want.
on to
But our opponent has to discard here, because they've gone so deep. 37 cards deep, we're 34 cards deep, so we're actually further into our library, but they just have more cards in hand at the moment. You're playing Network Terminal? What the hell? Alright, fair enough. Go ahead, play the Spirited Companion, draw a card. It's a land. Alright, we'll play the land. We Faithful Mending, I guess. Resolve. And guard lands? I don't think we really need lands. Gain a little life here. We'll create a double striker. And then I think we're going to go ahead and attack in with the Guardian of Ghirapur to their Kaito now that we have multiple blockers. We don't really need to blink anything at this point. Eternal Wanderer. I kind of want myself an Eternal Wanderer, I'm not going to lie. Do we want an Eternal Wanderer? I think we do want an Eternal Wanderer. Thank you, opponent. I will take this gladly. We're gonna go ahead and exile your Evolved Sleeper. Oh,
Anyone who harms my
yeah, about that,
people
opponent.
must contend with me.
Bye bye, Evolved Sleeper. That's too funny.
What you get for I am
That is actually probably the best use case we could have seen for the C double.
like water.
Now we're kind of dominating the board at the moment. Our opponent still has 6 cards in hand though, so we gotta be a little bit worried. They create a soldier with vigilance. I don't think that was quite what you needed to get back on the board, but fair enough. It is. They can give it first strike with Wandering Emperor, which means they can attack in, and we have to jump block. We did get some. They didn't exile the Guardian of Ghirapur, which is so shocking because we can get rid of their Emperor here if we want to, or their Kaito. I think we get rid of the.
Strike hard.
I think we might get rid of the Kaito. Kaito's gonna draw them cards. Card advantage is what's keeping them currently in the lead with their 7 cards in hand. Oh, they don't even
there's no
attack.
secret I
Attracts in the graveyard, reanimate. I mean, that would have been a really nice thing to see double. I will admit, I did not anticipate Atraxa reanimation. So it looks like they probably are less on the reanimate plan and more on the mana fixing plan here. Got like Plaza of Heroes, which can cast 1 mana of any color for legendary spells. So that's probably how they're planning to cast it. But I think it's fair to say they probably have a way of reanimating it. No, opponent! You're doing our thing! Oh, that's so funny. Come on, scroll. No! You're not gonna scroll shift the Etali? Coward. Coward. Alright, well. We can blink the Etali, it will come back onto our side of the field, so this is honestly a win. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. No one tell them that we can technically profit from this. Connive. We'll go ahead and connive. We're a little conniving. A little connivey. Guardian of Ghirapur is less useful here. We'll go ahead and connive again. Oh crap. I didn't mean it. Oopsies. Oopsies. Well, we can create these and then just swing in and stuff. So we don't really need these for anything in particular. This, we can go ahead, put a first strike counter on this one. And then
How we greet
go ahead, attack in like this. And that should do it. I mean, they can jump block these, but it's fine. We're not in it for that. We're in it to eventually do this. Exile up to 1 target artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Well, I believe we technically own this card. Yeah, it's our card. Don't touch our cards, opponent. Oh my god, Vraska. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, so we get a Vraska here, which is nice. And we got the Etali. Thanks to our opponent's kind reanimation of it. They should have reanimated the Atraxa. They did not anticipate the blink that a Wanderer could do. We can just kind of screw up our opponent. Like, we can just win the game next turn. If our opponent doesn't have removal for Etali. Yeah, if our opponent doesn't have removal for Etali, they're just dead. Oh wait, this trades. That's fine. We'll just trade like that. Admittedly, we could keep that one if we want to go for like maximum lethal, but hopefully our opponent doesn't have removal for Etali, but chances are they have another Emperor or something. Okay, they cycle. That's not a good sign for our opponent. We're gonna get the Blightsteel Colossus win. I didn't even mention this, but Etali transforms into an 11/11 trample indestructible. When it deals damage, combat damage to a player, they get that many poison counters. So we'll be able to one-shot our opponent just with Etali here if they do not have instant speed removal.
Now, what do we have here?
I mean, they probably have removal, right? Like, they probably have removal, but there's a chance. We win. We win. We genuinely win. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna keep this simple.
Make room.
We get the Blightsteel Colossus win. Let's go. Oh yes, we did it. I didn't even intend to build this deck to do that, but that's so cool. Alright, that's gotta be the last game. This one ran 16 minutes long anyway, so... Oh, that's so cool. We'll hop over to the deck real quick and talk about the cards in it. Some of the new cards, at least. If you enjoyed this video, though, consider subscribing, leaving a like, commenting for the algorithm, you know, all that good stuff. It helps out a ton. Really do appreciate it. Tells me if the content I make is actually enjoyable or not. But yeah, this is the deck. We have a ton of draw, discard, or draw cards. So we got Rafine's Informant, Spirit Companion will draw us a card. This is draw, discard. The nice thing about having these kind of creatures that draw, discard is that we can actually blink them in a pinch. So we have Planar Incision to blink. Oh, I forgot. We also have draw, discard with Faithful Mending. But then we also have Scrollshift to blink. So all our blink spells are Scrollshift, which is new. Guardian of Ghirapur. C double can technically blink because it creates like a token we can create a token copy of Etali to keep comboing off. We have Emperor, which can also blink, which we saw there. We have draw and discard with big score, and then reanimate with this. So that's the deck. If you enjoyed this deck, maybe you'll enjoy yesterday's video or the video before that, where we did. Yesterday was we played green, but we built around tribute to the world tree. So we used like a Wake in the Woods, create like these a whole lot of 3/3 like tree people, which is what we called the deck. And then the day before that, we played like a green 5-color Omnath deck where we tried to make the most out of Omnath Locust Vault. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.